Hello and welcome to another episode of The Real Agents of Change, where we support and celebrate and acknowledge all of the beautiful human beings on this planet that are serving the people that they say they're here to serve. Some people have lip service, but our real agents of change actually take action. And today we have the very first and currently only, but not for long, very first charitable real estate specialist in Idaho. Wren Nicks is a breath of fresh air and such a blessing to her community and to our group. Wren, please feel free to introduce yourself and let our viewers know, what does it mean to you to be a real agent of change, and why are you part of our group?
Hi, Cami. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Wren Nicks. I'm a realtor here just outside of Boise, Idaho in the Treasure Valley. I am with Amherst Madison, and I was a teacher for many years in other states and in this state. And my passion has always been children and making this a more beautiful world for our children to inherit. So when I knew that it was time for me to leave teaching, I could not decide what I wanted to do. And I thought and thought and thought, and I realized that the students in my classroom that lived in homes that their families owned outperformed their peers in almost every way. They had better lives, and they were able to focus on school. They were able to pursue their passions. And so I decided to go into real estate so that more families, more children could have that stable situation to thrive in. I've always believed that stronger communities is what's best.
You know, I've heard a lot of different reasons why people have gotten into real estate, but that's got to be one of the most beautiful. I appreciate that. So what was it that attracted you to our group? I know that you were stalking and watching from afar quite some time before you decided to get involved. What made you take the plunge?
Well, I have to believe in something 100% before I dive in, because when I dive in, let me tell you, it is just a whole body jump. So I have been active with several local community nonprofits. I've personally donated, I've participated in every kind of fundraising event you can imagine, from tiny little bake sales all the way to full weekend festivals, okay? I believe in giving. That I love to give, and I love to be there to help others figure out how to give. I would think that's easy and intuitive, but it's not. It's not always as easy as you would think to give what you want to give. So as we went through all the challenges we've gone through in 2020, the old tools just weren't working. We couldn't have the bake sale we've had. We couldn't have get-togethers and have the gala or the weekend festival. And the nonprofits, the charities that support our community are struggling. They've given what they have to give for the most part, in large part. So I wanted a way beyond just myself that we could really support those local nonprofits and those local charities. And I thought, this is the way. There is so much money tied up in real estate. People may not have cash flow, but there are people who have real estate that's either in terrific condition or perhaps under just a little bit of stress, or there's been an inheritance or a tax issue, and they would love for that to be a win-win, for them to be able to donate that property. And I've been contacted by people who were looking to do those kinds of things, and there just wasn't a vehicle. There was no way to drive this forward in this state. And so I did my research, and I did come across a few others before I came across the Real Agents of Change. And so I was a little skeptical. I wasn't sure I wanted to be involved or to put my clients at risk. So I spent some time researching and digging in. And the more I did so, the more excited I was, the more impressed I was by the beauty of the amount of giving that happens through Real Agents of Change.
Well, I'm honored to hear you say that. And, one of the things that I love to do is help the real agents of change to position themselves in such a way that when you Googled and creeped and searched on us and wanted to make sure we were the right partners for you, we know that you are going to be partnering with mortgage companies and title companies and nonprofits and real estate associations and all kinds of groups. And we want to make sure that when they look you up, they see that same beautiful presence. And that's why we're doing this interview, so that we can share with your tribe and the whole country that there's a new sheriff in town in the city of Star, Idaho, and that would be Wren. So Wren, tell us a little bit about the nonprofits, the ones that really speak to your heart. I know that children's are specifically important to you. You want to name a few of them?
So we are blessed in Idaho. This is an amazing state where there is a long tradition of charitable giving, and there are many, 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 many nonprofits. And I have chosen most recently to keep it close to home, to keep it local. And so I've been serving on the board of the Southwest Idaho Business Alliance, who is a local nonprofit that serves commerce, community, and charity here locally. And each year we pick a local nonprofit ourselves to support. And this past year, 2020, we chose the Star Food Bank, who serves not just our little town of Star, but a greater area. And not only do they have an office open for donations, but there are members who drive around to pick up these donations so that they can serve the community. They have just done phenomenal things to help children who in 2020 have been challenged to get to school and to get that daily meal, that hot lunch. It's just imperative that we are able to support our families in the community in this time. So the Star Idaho Food Bank is just one of the nonprofits that I am super passionate about. The other local nonprofit that really tugs at my heartstrings in these vulnerable times is the Anti-Human Trafficking Coalition. Our little community of Star is on the outskirts of Boise, which is a university town and happens to be right on a major highway, an interstate trucking route. And there's just a ton of movement through our little town and through Boise, connecting to the main interstate transit system. And unfortunately, in many ways, we have the joys of still some small town thinking that, share a cup of sugar with your neighbor, but also there's a little bit, we feel a little bit more protected than we are. And in these extra vulnerable times, our children are our most vulnerable. So I really believe in supporting that.
Well, the beautiful thing about what we have our hands on with Charitable Real Estate is that the way that our system and our team works is any of the 1.3 million nonprofits in this country, any of them, all of them can benefit. So we're going to start with that first couple for you. But what we want all the viewers in your marketplace to know, if you have a nonprofit, if you support a nonprofit, if you hear this and you think, wow, I'm a real agent of change, what can I do? The average amount of a donation from real estate to a nonprofit is $550,000, way better than the bake sales and the begging and barbecues that we've done in the past. So Wren, clearly we know where you are. You're in Idaho in the Boise area. I would love for you to share something with us that is not about your work or where you're from. Tell us something about you that we may not know.
Uh, well, I'm passionate about art. I like to do a little painting myself. So, yep, this state, like I said, it just inspires beauty in so many ways, from photography to quilt work to painting. I enjoy doing watercolor, and when I'm not at home reproducing some of those beautiful vistas, I love to be out in them with, we have a German Shepherd. Her name is Ember, and she's actually my husband's service dog. And nothing's more fun, on a early morning to get out with the dog and take a hike.
With the conversations we've had, I've written down beautiful people, beautiful state, beautiful funding of nonprofits. Maybe that will be part of your tagline moving forward. There's so much that you and I could speak upon and talk about in this interview. We're drawing to a little bit of an end here. What is the last thing that you would like for our viewers and listeners to know about you and what you're going to be up to in 2021?
Well, my superpower as a real estate agent, as a teacher, has always been to take it away from just one little old me and to move it on out there to big wide world, and to paint my students or my clients as the hero. And so I'm inviting other agents to do that as well. I'm inviting other people. I don't know if this idea excites you, of massive funding for charities and nonprofits in Idaho and other states excites you, and you're curious to know how you can do this for your clients or for yourself, for your charity. I invite you to get in contact with me, because we're making a difference. We are taking the reins in 2021, and we're funding the charities and the nonprofits that are here in our local communities, helping the people. So I'm opening this up. Contact me, get in touch, and we'll do this together.
You bring a smile to my heart. It is because of people like you that when I learned of Charitable Real Estate 13 months ago, that I was called by universe to bring this to the world. It's not new. Charitable Real Estate's been around for 100 years. What is new is us educating and informing the real estate agents, the nonprofits, the leaders and community folks who are visionary and want to be a part of the solution. Ladies and gentlemen, there's an awakening happening in the nonprofit world. They know all of their webinars recently are about the fact that cash is not king in fundraising anymore. Non-cash assets are where it's at. And we at the Real Agents of Change specifically focus on real estate. Our goal, with help from people like Wren, is to have $1 billion of real estate donated to nonprofits worldwide by 2025. And frankly, in the last 6 months, with all the activity and interest we've had, we've beefed that up to $1 billion a year, just through our group, just through people like you. And I get goosebumps just realizing I'm not having to do this all by myself. Everyone like you that sees this just has all the goosebumpies, knowing that this is the right path for all of us. And we know, as you're watching this, that you've got questions and you're like, what does that mean? Don't worry, Wren will help you. I will help you. We invite you to be a part of the Real Agents of Change. That's the end of our interview, Wren. Thank you so much for being present and polished and professional and poignant and positioned so beautifully. And we're so honored to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Goodbye.